When you see the Nike swoosh, you think of victory, dominance, and billionaires like Michael Jordan. But the story of how a broke kid created the biggest sports brand on the planet is actually a ruthless tale of corporate betrayal, near bankruptcies, and government sabotage. It involves outsmarting an entire industry that tried to brutally shut them down before ultimately being exposed for a dark, horrific secret that nearly destroyed the brand forever. This is the untold, adrenaline fueled true story of Nike and how Phil Knight built a global monopoly out of a trunk of his car. Phil Knight started his company Blue Ribbon Sports with basically $0. He struck a deal to be the exclusive US distributor for the Japanese shoe brand called Onitsuka Tiger. At first, things were going incredibly well, and Phil was selling the shoes as fast as he could get them. But he soon realized he had a massive problem. Onitsuka was purposefully starving Phil of inventory, secretly prioritizing their Japanese customers and only shipping Phil whatever leftovers they had. Desperate, Phil arranged an in person meeting with Onitsuka's executors, hoping to fix the relationship. Instead, he was ambushed. The Japanese brand gave Phil a brutal ultimatum: either sell 50% of your entire company to us, or we will instantly cut you off and partner with another American distributor. Phil refused to sell the company he had poured his life into, realizing it was time for war. Phil and his partner decided to make their own shoe instead. They called this new brand Nike and viewed this betrayal not as a crisis but as their liberation. By 1977, Nike was on a massive upswing, doubling their revenues to $28 million dollars in a single year and becoming a genius fashion statement. But this explosive growth terrified the established American brands. Competitors like Keds and Converse watched Nike stealing their market share and decided to play extremely dirty. Because Nike was cash poor and constantly borrowing money just to keep up with their rapid growth, the competition knew that exactly how to kill them. Keds and Converse sent representatives to Washington to lobby the US Customs Office. They found an obscure, outdated tariff law called the American Selling Price and convinced the government to hit Nike with a retroactive bill for exactly $25 million. dollars. When Phil opened the letter, he thought it was a joke. If forced to pay this absurd bill, Nike would instantly be bankrupt and the competitors would win. Phil had to fight the US government for years to survive this corporate assassination attempt. Nike managed to settle the dispute and keep growing, eventually pulling off the ultimate coup in 1984 by signing a rookie named Michael Jordan, who had actually worn Converse in college. By 1986, Nike had completely crushed Converse to become the biggest sports brand in America. It was a fairy tale success story until 1991, when an American labor activist named Jeffrey Ballinger published a horrifying report. The report revealed the dark secrets fueling Nike's extreme profitability. Behind the inspiring commercials of athletes pushing their limits was a reality of violent intimidation, sweatshops, harassments, and child labor in their overseas factories in places like Indonesia. The backlash was immense, completely ruining their public image and forcing the company to radically overhaul its entire supply chain. Phil Knight's journey proves that while you can outrun your competitors and outsmart the government, you can never outrun the truth.